important thing that came out today in terms of the day was RBI's annual report that shows that central bank bought 57.5 tons of fresh gold last year, increasing its gold hoard by 78% to 879.58 tons. Fraud cases have fallen, but the value of money involved on the frauds have risen. Latha is joining in with us to give us some of these interesting takeaways that have come in from the RBI's annual report. Latha, over to you.
Okay, well, gold is always something we watch out for from the annual report. How much gold has the RBI bought? Its total value of gold that it holds has risen by 57.7% to 4.3 trillion rupees. Last year, it was 2.75 trillion rupees. The rise is largely because of the rise in the price of gold, but RBI has also bought more gold. It has bought 54 tons of more gold. So its total gold holding goes up by 7% to 879 tons. But this is not the highest. It's higher than last year. If you go to FY24, its total, it bought 28 tons of gold. FY23, it bought 34 tons, which is 4.6% higher. But FY22, it had bought a lot more gold, about 65 tons. And its gold holding went up by 9.3%. But still, 7.7% rise in gold is a 3-year high. The other point to note is the way in which the RBI balance sheet has been treated. If you remember, about a couple of weeks back, the RBI board met and said that they're raising the contingency reserve from earlier 5.5 to 6.5 to 4.5 to 7.5. They expanded it. Now, if the RBI has kept 7.5% of its total liabilities as reserves. If it had kept it at 6.5, that is the old number, then the total surplus to the government would have been 3.6 trillion rupees. But they have actually given only 2.7 trillion rupees because they had to put in additional 76,000 crores in the reserves because of the rise in the percentage. And this could be just, smoothing out dividend so that they can pay more next year. But that's the important part, that they have reduced the potential surplus by increasing the reserve percentage. The other major point from the annual report is what they look at in terms of the economy. The global economy obviously is going to be the pain point. They are pointing to slower disinflation. Now, that is new. Until now, global economy was giving us disinflation, but RBI believes that this disinflation process will slow down. Maybe a little bit of inflation from the global economy. The high public debt, because all countries are indebted, geopolitical and trade tensions. These are the headwinds. Positive is the domestic economy, very resilient, growing consumption, continued capex push, strong balance sheets of banks and of corporates, liquidity higher, so easy financial conditions, and resilient. The services sector being resilient makes for a strong economy. The other important point they point out, because of good monsoons, chances of inflation remaining under 4% are a given. That's basically what you're getting from the Reserve Bank. Number of fraud cases have fallen, but the amount of fraud, amount of money involved in fraud cases actually risen, almost doubled to 36,000 crores. It was about 18,000 crores last year. Those are the key takeaways from the annual report.
Okay, Latha, thank you so much for that. Interesting highlights coming in from the RBI's annual report. Let's move